Hello again. So welcome to our penultimate session of the 8th week. So here we are, week 8, session 2. So nearly there now. So you're doing great work. Let's keep it going for the final 2 sessions and then you have completed the program. So if you haven't already, let's get warmed up. As usual, a nice easy 5 minutes of a walk. We're just going to gradually increase that pace until we end up in a more of a brisk walk, and then we'll just drop it down for the final minutes to prepare ourselves for today's session. So what have we got in store for you today then? So this is our last pyramid session that we have got. So this is the final progression. We are doing 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, then 6 minutes, then back down. So 5, 4, 3, 2. With a 30-second recovery in between. So hardly any recovery, just like we've done on the last few sessions. That was from week 6 we started doing that with the 30 seconds. So it's very little time, but the whole purpose of this is we're trying to keep our running pace going and reduce our walking. So try not to go off too hard on these repetitions, just try and hold a steady pace even though they are shorter repetitions. So in total, we are doing our highest amount of running. Today we are doing 34 minutes in total of running, so just an extra 2 minutes on from last week, and we're going to keep the recovery, the walking recoveries, that'll be the same. So that'll be in total, that'll be 4 minutes, the same as what we did last week. So just very short recoveries, just to catch your breath back in between the repetitions. So you have done so well over the 8 weeks. This pyramid session has been a great progression, so fantastic work. Just looking back to when we first started, back in week 1, we started with that 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, 2 minute, 1 minute. So that just goes to show how well you have done. So we are 2 minutes into our warm up now. So let's start to increase the pace a little bit further and just get those arms moving a little bit more, swinging forwards and backwards. Let's push the pace a bit more. Deep breaths. Get yourselves properly warmed up, increase that heart rate, breathing rate, loosen the muscles, prepare yourselves for the start of this pyramid session. So we have one last session left after this one, which is that final session that we have been working to all this time, which is our steady 1 repetition session, just 30 minutes all together. So no breaks at all, completing our end goal of the 30 minutes. And there we go. Then we have completed what we set out to do back in week 1. This session is great for anyone who is looking to move on to doing a 5k race or just keep a more steady, consistent run pace going. So hopefully now that you've got to where you've got to, you can look into if there's any races around in your area, and you hopefully will feel a lot more confident and ready and more prepared to take that on. So well done, you're ready to go. So we got 3 minutes down now, so we've got another 2 minutes to go, then we'll start. So let's start to increase that pace a little bit more for 1 more minute, and then that last minute we'll decrease the pace until we're ready to start the session. So if you have enjoyed these sessions, please check out my other podcasts. So look at Simon Minting Audio Training and take a look at some of the other sessions that I have done. The very similar format, they're interval-based sessions. So I'll be with you every step of the way as well, telling you when to start and stop each rep and pushing you the whole way through. So please check those out. There's various different levels of progressions as well. And also, if you've enjoyed what we've done in this 8 weeks, there's no reason why you can't revisit some of your favorite sessions. If there's one that you particularly enjoyed, please check that out, repeat, and see if you can improve on the distance that you did initially when you first started. There's no problem with doing that. So 1 more minute to go now. So just start to decrease the pace a little bit slower now as we make our way towards the start of this session. So remember, it's the pyramid session. Starting with the 2 minutes today. Last week, we did something very similar, but we didn't do the 2 minutes. We did 1 minute, 3 minute, 4 minute, 5 minute, 6 minute, and then back down. So just switching the 1 minutes for the 2 minutes this time. 30 seconds and then we'll get going. Let's try and keep these reps fairly steady pace. Don't be tempted to go off too hard on these shorter repetitions because you will tire with such a little recovery. So let's just try and hold a steady, consistent pace. The breaks are only there just to give you just a little bit of a breather in between the repetitions and not a full recovery. So 10 seconds. Are we all ready? 5, 3, 2, 1, off we go. So off we go with our first repetition of this pyramid. So just a quick recap: 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5, 6, and then back down, 5, 4, 3, 2, with just that 30-second break in between. So let's try and keep these fairly steady pace. Try to avoid going off too hard on these shorter repetitions, because remember, our recoveries are only 30 seconds long each one. So we don't get much recovery time. So the whole point of this session is just to keep a steady pace throughout, with just short breaks thrown in from time to time, okay? So in total, this is our biggest session of the actual program itself. We're going to be running for 34 minutes with 4 minutes recovery. So that's 38 minutes in total, plus the 5-minute warm-up cool down. That leads us to 48 minutes. So this is our biggest session that we are going to do. So just keep going at a steady pace and we'll get through this together. So that is 1 minute down already. Let's keep it going. Great start. Just settle into a nice rhythm and keep going. So even though it is a long session, we have got lots of little breaks from time to time, which will help a lot. So don't be too fazed by this. We'll get those little gaps just to help us out and get us through the whole 34 minutes. So, got 30 seconds to go. Come on, keep going. Really good work. So 15 seconds to go, and then we've completed that first repetition of 2 minutes. Come on, last bit left. 3, 2, 1, well done. So just ease it down just for 30. This will go really quickly, I'm afraid. So just a nice gentle walking pace, and then you can just roll straight into your next repetition of 3 minutes. Deep breaths. Fill the lungs with as much oxygen as you can possibly do in this amount of time. Get yourselves recovered. 10 seconds. Get ready. In 5, 3, 2, 1. So off we go for 3 minutes now. Off we go. Come on. Let's keep that nice pace going again. I'll let you know each minute how much time has gone and how much time is remaining. So just keep going. So this is our last session before we take on that 30 minutes, which is the end goal of the session. So think of this as your final session, but the last session that is coming up is kind of the race, the time trial that we've been aiming to do. So get this one done, and then that's all the training work done, complete, to be able to do that. So you've done really well. Good work, and keep it going when you finish this program. Try and sustain the fitness that you have achieved through this last 8 weeks. And if you want to repeat sessions, definitely do that. Great way to see how you're improving and progressing. So you're always welcome to revisit sessions. You don't have to do the whole program again. Just do the ones that you quite fancy doing at the time, okay? If you like a pyramid, do that. Or if you want more of a steady one, maybe do one of the longer repetition ones. So just check out what's good for you and what you want to do. So we're over 1 minute down now in this 3 minutes, so just keep going. Coming up to the halfway point soon. So that's halfway now. We've got 1.5 minutes to go. Keep relaxed, keep going. The great thing about these interval sessions is because there's lots of short repetitions, what I personally find is you just focus on each individual repetition rather than thinking of the whole 34 minutes of running and then the 4 minutes of walking in between. You just break it down into those small sections rather than worrying about the whole 38 minutes of the walking and the running combined. So we've got 1 minute to go. And then we'll have that little break, and then we'll take on the 4 minutes. So I'm doing this with you, you're not alone. So we'll get through this together. As the reps get longer, we'll just work together. I'll motivate you, push you through, get you to the end of each rep. 30 seconds to go now. Come on, nearly there. Really good work. Hold the pace. Remember, you haven't got much recovery in between these, so try not to go too hard on these first few. Nearly there now, 10 seconds. Last 5, come on, nearly there. 3, 2, 1, well done. So walk it out for 30 seconds again. And then we've got our 4-minute repetition. Okay, hopefully you're feeling good, yeah? First 3 ones are done, 3 repetitions are already over. Let's take on the 4th minute one now. The bigger repetitions now, out of the session anyway. 5 seconds, 3, 2, 1, off we go. Right, so come on, let's keep going, same pace, nice and steady. So, if you break it down into what's the shorter repetition, so the 2 minute and the 3 minutes are the short ones. So we've got 4 of those in total with 2 minutes and 2 3 minutes. And then that leaves us with the 2 4 minutes, 2 5s and 1 6. So we've got 5 of the longer reps. So just think of it now as we're starting our longer repetition reps now. That's it, great start. Come on, keep going. Hold that nice steady pace. I'll let you know how we're going through each minute. So you just keep focusing on what you're doing. So that's 1 minute down already. 3 minutes to go. Remember all the points that I've mentioned to you in the past, over the previous sessions. Nice and relaxed running, and keep your form. Arms driving forwards and back. Relax the shoulders. Try not to tense up. Raise the knees. Keep going, that's it. We're coming up to halfway through this 4 minutes. So we're halfway now, okay, we've got 2 minutes to go. Really good work. So this is the end pyramid, so this is what we've built up to. Looking back to week 1 where we did 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, and then 2 minute, 1 minute. And now look how far you've come. Building our way all the way up to 6 minutes in this pyramid. And not doing the 1 minute at the start. So that's how much you've progressed. And we've dropped our recovery time as well. Just down to 30 seconds, which is absolutely nothing. So that's really, really good work. We had 2 minutes when we first started. It's amazing how quickly you can progress, and you actually forget how you've progressed as well. You look back, that's why it's really good to keep a training diary or make a note of what you've done, because you just kind of forget about where you were when you first started, because now it feels a lot more natural than it did when you first began. So come on, we've got under a minute to go now. Nearly there. Final bit of effort. Then we'll have that short recovery again. And then we'll take on our 5 minute repetition. Gradually making our way up to the top of the pyramid. Come on, 30 seconds to go. Come on, right to the end of each repetition. Hold the pace. Try to avoid slowing down. I know you get tired, we all do, as we get towards the end of the reps. But that's why you just got to keep focused and keep going until I stop. Say stop. 10 seconds. Last 5. 3, 2, 1. Well done. Okay, so walk it out. Okay, so 5-minute rep coming in. So we've got our 3 longer repetitions coming now. 5, 6, 5. And then we'll just do what we've already done with the 4, the 3 and the 2. 10 seconds. Get ready. Ready, off we go. So, keep going and keep your form. So let me know how you've got on. As we're now coming towards the end of this 8 weeks now, you have now experienced all the different sessions. Which ones have you liked? Or which ones have you found harder? Let me know, it's always great to hear your feedback. How did you find the progressions? Were you able to cope well with the increase each week? Hopefully you should have been okay with that as you were getting fitter. Your body should have been able to adapt with the progressions and got you to where you've got to right now. So if you know anyone else that would benefit from this, please let them know. Okay, it's 1 minute down. So this is ideal, this program, if anyone is new to running and wants to get into it nice and gradually, doesn't want to go in too much too soon, or maybe you know someone that's injured and just wants to ease back gradually, doesn't want to rush back. Another great program for that, just to build it up each week. And if you liked these types of sessions, I do have another podcast to just look at Simon Mincing audio training and look at those various different sessions on that as well, very similar with interval based sessions, so please check those out. Give them a go as well. Okay, come on, doing really well. Coming up to the next minute mark soon. Okay, it's another minute down now. Just another 30 seconds, and then we're halfway through this 5-minute repetition. Great work. So if it helps breaking it down into halves, do that. Good visualization is imagine that you're doing an out and back. So when you get at that halfway stage, imagine that you're getting closer back to where you started. Each step is a step closer. So it's halfway now, we've got 2.5 minutes to go. Oh, that's why I like these shorter repetition sessions, because yes, there might be quite a few of them, but they're over fairly quick compared to some of the other longer repetition sessions that we have done. But it's always good to do a mixture. There's different benefits from doing the longer sessions as well as the shorter sessions, working different energy systems. And it's always good to do a variety to give you a good general all-round fitness. So come on, we're nearly there. Come on, not long to go now. Just over 1.5 minutes left. Great work. That's 1.5 minutes now, come on. Keep going. Just keep going. As we get tired towards the end of these longer repetitions, you might find that your form might go slightly. That's why it's always good to just keep going over on your mind all the points that we have mentioned, engaging that core muscle, those core muscles. Keep relaxed, keep driving the arms. Have a good stride. So under 1 minute to go, come on. Try not to overstride, but also try to avoid doing those small, short steps as well. It should feel quite natural to you, so just go to how it should feel, but just by raising the knees, it will naturally lengthen your stride. So try to get that right for you. So 30 seconds, come on, nearly there. And then we're nearly at the top of the pyramid already. Final 15. Come on, keep going right to the end, 10 seconds. 5, 3, 2, 1, well done. Okay, walk it out. So, we're nearly at the top. Let's get this 6 minutes done. And then it's dropping down a minute each time now. It's always a good feeling when you're on your way back down the pyramid. And then each repetition is going to get shorter. So this is the one we need to focus on now. This is our longest repetition of the session. And this is our longest one that we've done in a pyramid session. So let's just do this together. We ready? In 3, 2, 1, let's go. So we got to 6 minutes in the last session, but we did 1 minute reps instead of 2 minutes. So just a slight progression on from last week. Still have the same recovery. So just an extra 2 minutes of running in total. So not a lot of progression now that you got yourself up to a good state. We've just done smaller tweaks now. That's what you often do find with programs for beginners, is that you sometimes do progress quite quickly at the start, but then when you get your fitness up to a good level, then you're looking at small minor improvements rather than as big as maybe you had at the start. So don't be put off when you carry on with your running and you find that you start to plateau slightly or the improvements aren't as big as you had when you very first started. That is perfectly normal. So just keep going and sustain what you've got as well as getting those small progressions and improvements. So come on, that's it, keep going now. So come on, keep it going. Doing really well. Coming up to 1.5 minutes soon. Keep it going. 1.5 minutes gone now. So if it helps, break it down to 2 minutes. 3 lots of 2 minutes will give us 6. If that helps, or just 2 lots of 3. Break it down. Great work. So if you know anyone else that you think, so that is 2 minutes down now. So a third of the way through this long rep. So if you haven't already, please like and share my Facebook page and my Instagram. So just look for Simon Minting Audio Training and give it a like. And like I say, if you know anyone that you think would be interested, please share it with them and let them know about it and help them progress and improve just like you have. Really good work. You're coping very well here. Come on, we're nearly at the halfway stage. It's another 15 seconds to go, then that's halfway. And then that will be halfway through the session as well. So if you are on an out and about, this would be your point to turn around. Right, so you're over halfway. 3 minutes to go. Halfway through that session as well, come on. So remember the visualization as well that I've mentioned, if that helps, especially when you're getting tired, which you might be at now. Now we're coming towards the end of this longer rep. So imagine that you're catching someone up in front of you, or if you are out in the run and you can see someone out in front of you that is a little bit slower than you, that's always a good one as well. You don't have to visualize it if there is actually someone there. Just use them. Don't go off too fast if they're going at a good pace, but if you feel that you can catch them at the pace that's right for you. That's always a really good target to aim for. Or vice versa, if there's someone behind you, let's try to avoid them catching you, whether that's you visualizing that and pretending that, or if there is actually someone there, you can pull away. That's why it's really good to actually train in groups of similar standards, because you can always work with them and use them if there is someone just slightly in front of you or behind. Keeps you going. So how are we doing? We have got 1.5 minutes to go. We are nearly there. And this long rep is done. Then we're dropping a minute each time. Nearly there now. Come on, last minute to go. Now. Right, come on, final push. And we can have that recovery. Great work. Just hold the pace. Try and keep them steady still, even if you are feeling okay. There's plenty of time later on towards the end to increase if you need to. You will find that you won't recover in just such a short period of time if you do go off too hard. So, nearly there. 30 seconds to go now. Final bit of effort. This is great work. Come on, 20 seconds. Keep focused. Last 10 seconds. Right to the end. 5, 3, 2, 1. Well done. Okay, so slow it down. Great work. You have completed the longest rep of the session. So we're just making our way back down now. Each repetition will get shorter by a minute. So halfway, 15 seconds. And then we go again with that 5. Walk it out, that's it. Let yourselves recover. 3, 2, 1, off we go. So try and keep it still steady. So if you know anyone that isn't a beginner, who still you think would get benefit from these types of sessions, they can always do some of these later sessions in the program. So this one, as an example, is quite an advanced session now. That just goes to show how well you have done, and you are now not classed as a beginner like you were at the start of the program. This is quite a intermediate to advanced session. So if you know anyone that's at this level, that they don't have to do the whole 8 weeks, they can just jump straight into one of the later sessions in the program and do that. So let them know as well if you think that this would be any benefit to anyone who's not a beginner but who would also like it. Great start. So that is a minute down already. So we've got 4 minutes to go. This is a massive session in the program. Like I say, it's the longest one, but also being the sort of the penultimate session of the build up to our end goal, a session of that 30 minutes of continuous running. This is a really good moment for you to get this session done, and then you've done all the prep work to take on that 30 minutes. Doing well. It doesn't matter what your standard is like, this session is specifically for you and your pace. So you are setting yourself the time that you want to run a 5k in, say, and that's specific for you. So this training will help you get to that point. Well, that's another minute down now. So 2 minutes down, 3 to go. Another 30 seconds and we're halfway. So now that you've done all this hard work, and if you do fancy a challenge, as I've mentioned, a 5k is a really good sort of goal based on this session. So now you're up to a really good standard. There's no reason why you can't take that challenge on and see how well you do. So you're halfway, 2.5 minutes to go. And then once you've done something like, say, a 5K race or time trial, that will give you a good goal, something to train up to be able to beat in a couple of months after that, if you want to, okay? So always good to set yourself targets and goals, short term and long term. So think of where you want to get to in say a couple of weeks, but also where you want to get to in a couple of months or maybe even a year later. It's always good to do that and write them down so you've got something to aim for. Put it somewhere as well that you can see it regularly, whether it's on your fridge or on your notice board or wherever you want to put it, just so you can keep seeing it. And that will certainly help as well when you're feeling a little bit less motivated one day. And we all get days like that where sometimes we've got to drag ourselves out to train. But if you can see that goal or something that you want to aim for, that will keep you motivated to keep going. So write it down, put it up somewhere you're going to see it often, and just keep reminding yourself what you want to achieve, short term and long term. So, all that talking, we've got a minute to go now. Come on. Nearly there. Deep breaths. Deep breaths in and deep breaths out. Great work, come on. Final push to go now. Come on, we've got 30 seconds now. Last little bit of effort left. Hold on. Visualize that finish line in front of you of each repetition if that helps as well. It's always nice to have a point to aim for and see if you can get there. Just 10 seconds away. Let's get there, come on. Don't slow down till you have. Then we can have that 30-second rest. 3, 2, 1, well done. All right, walk it out again. So that's a big repetition done, I think, personally. That's the 3 long repetitions done. So not long to go. It's got the 3 shorter ones left, 15 seconds. So we've got a 4-minute, 3-minute, then a 2-minute to go. Get ready. Off in 5, 3, 2, 1. Off we go. So how are you feeling? If you're feeling good and strong, fantastic work, well done, you've done really good work. Hopefully that means that you've kept it fairly steady and consistent on the repetitions. So that's what we wanted to do, so you've done that. If you're feeling comfortable and you felt maybe you could have gone a bit faster, don't worry. It's better that you completed it and you were cautious than you went off too hard and you hit the wall and you had to slow down or stop. So that doesn't matter, it's giving you a good goal, something to beat later on. Or it's still not over the session, you've still got a few more reps to go, so you can increase these last 3 if you felt that you have undercooked it slightly. And if you were able to record down, whether it's your GPS device or you want to track the distance that you went in those first repetitions, that gives you a good goal of a distance to beat. Or if you're on a treadmill, that will tell you on the screen as well, so you can always increase it slightly. Don't go too hard, remember, we still haven't finished. You've still got time to get a good average of the whole of the session, of all the reps combined. So it's not over yet. You can still tweak it if you feel good. So how are we doing? So we're coming up to 1.5 minutes down. So we've got another 30 seconds, then we're halfway through this 4 minutes. And if you are feeling that you did go off a bit hard and you are tiring a bit now, don't worry about that at all. You can always do the session again later on down the line and just try and take it a bit slower and see if you can get a better session than how you've done today. But still keep going with today. Don't stop, don't give up. Just like I said with the people that have possibly gone too slow and can speed up towards the end, getting a good average. That applies to you as well. So think that you got all that extra effort done at the first part of the session. So as an average, you can afford to take it a bit slower. So stay positive about it and keep going. So we've got under 2 minutes to go now. So over halfway through. Good work. Minute and a half left now. Keep relaxed. Sometimes when we really try hard, we tend to over-exaggerate our arm movement and our legs and tense up, and we think we're working really, really hard, but actually by tensing up like that, you're restricting your movement and you're not flowing as nice as you would do if you were keeping as loose and relaxed. So try to remember, yes, put the effort in, but don't over tense up, because you're not going to go faster, even though it feels like you are. So under a minute to go. If you're able to do any recordings of you running, that's always a really good way to see how your technique is as well, because sometimes you don't even realise what you're doing. So it's sometimes quite good if you can get someone to record you and you can just play it back and see all those points that I've mentioned, see if that you're doing them or if you're running smoothly and efficiently. Sometimes it puts it in perspective when you actually see it. So nearly there, come on, nearly there, 15 seconds to go. Last bit of effort for 10. Right to the end, come on, 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, well done. Okay, so slow it down. 30-second walk, walk it out, keep moving, try not to stop. Slow walk, deep breaths. And then we got our last 2 repetitions. 3 minute and a 2 minute. So nearly there now. Let's get this one done. And it's just one more rep to the end. Get ready, it's going quick, the recovery. I told you it would. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, let's go. So come on, this is the one to work on again. By now, I'm sure we're all feeling the same. We're all getting a little bit more tired now because we've worked so hard, but we've still got a few more minutes to go. So let's just get this one done. Keep focus on the pace that's right for you. Try and hold on, keep relaxed. And then we can have our last 2 minutes, which is the final push to the end. So we're coming up to 1 minute down already. Keep going, another 10 seconds, then we've got that 1 minute complete. All right, so it's 1 minute down, 2 minutes to go. Another 30 seconds and we're halfway already. That's what I love about these shorter reps. Even though it's hard and you're tired with those short recoveries, they're not long, these repetitions. They go by very quickly. Come on, keep going. That's halfway now, just a minute and a half to go. So nearly there now. And this recovery coming will be our final recovery. So nearly completed this session. And after you've done this, you are ready to take on that 30 minutes. You've done all the work, the hard training. This session, personally, I think is harder than doing the 30 minutes at the pace you want to do. So you just let yourself recover, give yourself a couple of days to get this out of the legs, and then go. So under a minute to go now, come on. Final push. So nearly there. We have just 30 seconds to go now. Come on. See that point in front of you again, 30 seconds away. Visualize that as your finish point. Imagine someone's catching you. Let's keep going. Don't let them catch you. And imagine that you're pulling someone in and you're going to get to that finish point before they are. 15 seconds. You've now overtaken them. Come on. Don't let them stick with you. Keep going. 5 seconds. You've pulled away. 3, 2, 1. Well done. Right, walk it out for the last time. 30 seconds. And then we've got just our 2 minutes to the end. Fantastic work. Okay, are we all ready? Feeling good, feeling strong? So, 10 seconds. So we've just ran what we equaled in our last session last week. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Got a 2-minute progressional from last week, which is what this rep is. So this is the extra bit, think of it like that. You've done the same as last week. Come on, let's just do the final bit to the end. And you've completed your 34 minutes of running with the 4 minutes of walking thrown in the middle, in between. So I'm going to break it down into 30 seconds. So that is 30 seconds down already. So we've got a minute and a half to go. If you're feeling good, let's try and just give a little bit of a surge of pace each 30 seconds. Whether that's that you're getting faster or you're preventing yourself slowing each time. Just think of that extra effort. Imagine you're putting your foot down on the accelerator each time. Just pushing each time. Right to the end. Let's complete a good quality session. So that is another 30 seconds down, so minute down. Come on, a little bit more of a push. Let's go. Right to the end. It's so nearly over now. The finish line is in front of you. Just 40 seconds away. So 30 seconds to go now. Come on, another little bit of effort now. This is it, all you've got now. Right to the end. Finish strong. Push to the end. You've nearly completed this session. Come on. Imagine that feeling you're going to feel very soon when you've completed it. 10 seconds. Last bit, don't slow down. 5. Keep going right to the end. 3, 2, 1. You've done it. Well done. So well done. You have completed our final pyramid session. That was a really good session. Well done. You have done it. So if you haven't already, let's get walking at a nice slow level just to help yourselves recover. Gradually get that breathing rate back down to normal. Same with the heart rate, and also loosen the muscles and just help yourselves recover. So we are ready to take on that final session, which will be our 30 minutes of continuous running. And that's the session that we have been building up to for the last 8 weeks. So really, really good work. So please let me know how you got on today. How did you find the session? It certainly was a tough one today. We've progressed you nicely. That was our longest session in the 8 weeks as a whole. We did 34 minutes of running with 4 minutes of walking. So that gives us 38 minutes in total, plus the warm up we did at the start, and then this cool down that will lead us to 48 minutes of exercise. So that is our longest session to date. So fantastic work. That's a great volume session done. Very little walking recoveries in between these repetitions. So it was a toughie, but you've done it. Probably the hardest session, I would say, of the program. So you are definitely ready to take on this last session, which is what we've been building up to, which is that 30 minutes of steady running. So that's 1 minute and a half gone of this cool down. So let's just keep it nice and steady and just help your body recover and get ready for that final session. So every week I've been mentioning about different tips, things to help you, how we can recover, what interval training does to our bodies and how it helps us improve. And recently I've been talking to you about form and technique and how it helps our bodies. So today I'm going to talk to you about our breathing. So it is important when we run that we take deep breaths. You might have heard of this as belly breathing. So this breathing technique involves taking deep breaths using your diaphragm to draw in a lot more air into your lungs and then deep breaths out. Many runners take short breaths, therefore they aren't using their diaphragm as efficiently and effectively as they possibly could. By taking short breaths, you rely too much on your chest muscles, and that means that you're not going to be taking in as much oxygen. So that's what's really important, just to take those deep breaths in and out. So when you run, even if it's just a jog, really focus on your breathing. Take time to think about what you're doing and just draw in deep breaths and breathe out whilst you're going, and just train your body. This is something that you can also do at home as well, so you don't have to do this just for running. So you can train this at home by lying down on the floor or sitting upright. Draw your back, keep your upper chest and shoulders still, and then by focusing on raising your belly as you inhale, lower your belly as you exhale. Inhale and exhale are both through the nose and the mouth, so try and think about that as well once you are doing those. And another way that you can improve on your breathing technique is by taking part in classes such as yoga, where you will learn certain breathing techniques through these exercises. Breathing deeply is also a great way to relieve any stress and any anxiety, so that's another really important feature of why we should breathe more effectively when we train. So now we're coming into our last minute now, so we're nearly there. Let's just keep that steady pace going. Just let yourselves recover. Remember all the points I've mentioned in the previous sessions about how to recover. So just go over a few of those. Just make sure that you fully recover. Try not to do a session if you're tired. Make sure you stretch or foam roll if you've got a foam roller. Eat well, drink lots as well. Try to avoid alcohol. Have a good sleep. Take lots of protein on board. If you can and you feel up for it, try an ice bath, or if you live near the sea or a lake, have a little dip in that. That will aid your recovery as well. So all those points I've mentioned over the last few sessions, give those a go and help your body recover and get ready for the last session, which is that 30 minutes. Once you finish that 30 minutes, see how well you've done. And if you want to progress and do any more training, take a look at my other podcast, Simon Minting Audio Training. So that is it from me. So fantastic work. I'll sign out now and I'll look forward to joining you for that final session. Goodbye.